Hello, everyone. It's another top 5 of the week. I have a couple of interesting reports for you today. So without much ado, let me get into it. First is the World Bank's Africa's Pulse for October 2021 on climate change adaptation and economic transformation in sub-Saharan Africa. Africa's Pulse is a biannual analysis of the near-term macroeconomic outlook for the region, published each year in April and October. This publication notes that while the global economy continues its rapid recovery from the global recession of 2020, inequities in vaccine supply and access to external finance are leading to a two-track recovery. The document states that in sub-Saharan Africa, the economy is set to expand by 3.3% in 2021, 1 percentage point higher than the forecast of the April 2021 Africa Pulse, with projections for 2022 and 2023 just below 4%. The report is of the view that economic recovery in sub-Saharan Africa remains timid and fragile as the slow pace of vaccination continues to expose the region to emerging strains of coronavirus, holding back economic performance. Up next is a joint policy note by the World Bank and the World Trade Organization on the role of trade in developing countries' road to recovery. It discusses how international trade can help developing countries recover faster from the pandemic and summarizes 3 interrelated policy challenges to which trade can be a fundamental part of the answer. 1. The recovery from COVID-19 and economic resilience to future global shocks. 2. Delivering on the promise to end extreme poverty and achieving a more inclusive world. And 3. Mitigating carbon emissions and adapting to climate change. Recommendation number 3 is from the West Africa Civil Society Institute WACCI, and it's a synthesis of the findings on the impact of COVID-19 on civil society organizations in West Africa, with particular focus on Cameroon, the Gambia, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone. In particular, the report shows that the COVID-19 pandemic has affected CSO's operations, funding prospects, and relationships with donors and stakeholders. Given that CSOs are agile actors with an agency, this report further analyzes strategic responses for mitigating the effects of the pandemic in ensuring their short-term survival and long-term sustainability. The report presents database evidence to inform stakeholders' engagement with West African CSOs. At number 4 is a report that touches on some of the pertinent issues around vaccine equality in Southern Africa. This is a briefing paper by the International Commission of Jurists that has been informed by input from local human rights defenders and public health experts through a series of public and private online consultations in March and April 2021, involving participants from 15 SADC member states. The report stresses that SADC member states have failed in varying degrees to meet their international legal obligations to ensure equitable access to vaccines for their populations and to otherwise guarantee and ensure the rights to health, life, and equal benefit from scientific progress. To advance equitable and timely access to COVID-19 vaccines across Southern Africa, in compliance with the international human rights obligations, the report makes recommendations for regional cooperation, equitable access to COVID-19 vaccines and health information, and transparency in vaccine procurement, allocation, and distribution. Rounding up this week's recommendation at number 5 is a report that highlights good practices in South-South and triangular cooperation. It contains codified African South-South development solutions and innovative solutions that have the potential to be scaled up in peer African countries, covering key sustainable development goals related issues such as governance, education, climate change, disaster risk reduction, clean water, renewable energy, agro-food, environment, digital finance, and inclusiveness. The African development solutions showcased in this publication are expected to not only inspire more innovative made in Africa and African tailored goods solutions to addressing development challenges in Africa, but also facilitate knowledge sharing and cooperation among a wider range of partners of the Global South, including governments, the private sector, civil society, non-governmental organizations, and the general public. That's it. That's all I have for you this week. Stay safe and goodbye, everyone.